Hey everyone, Letty here. It's been a while since I last posted a video. Yeah, I know I said that I was gonna get better at this whole posting videos thing, blah blah blah, but I haven't. I guess it's a good thing that I'm not a professional YouTuber. Otherwise, I would have sucked making a living out of it. But hey, life happens. Well, it's not that like I didn't want to post any videos or make a vlog or do any tutorials or do like some kind of beauty thing. It's just that genuinely lately a lot of things has been happening. So yeah, I decided to make a video on, or kind of give you like an update of what's going on in my life. You know, just kind of let you know that I am okay. I'm still alive. Nothing bad has happened yet. Yeah, just kind of give you an update. Yeah, so last time I posted a video, it was, I don't know, I think what was it? It was a Charming haul. Yeah, wow, it's been a while. Yeah, so I posted a Charming Charlie haul where I showed you, some really neat things that I got from there and whatnot. And little did I know that that weekend was probably my last weekend that I was actually able to enjoy myself and have some fun and relax. I knew that that week or later that week I was gonna go into working into overtime, and then from there they kind of told us that we're going to be working overtime the next week, and then that following week they came in and said that we're going to be working overtime again the next week. And next thing I knew, they told us that basically we're going to be working overtime all of June, and that we're going to be working overtime every single week in July. So that's where I'm at. I've been working overtime for almost a month and a half. This week will be a month and a half. It's tiring. It's really tiring. Well, I mean, I've had people telling me that at least you're making some extra money out of it, but really at this point I don't really care about the extra money. Like, yeah, it's nice, it's helpful to have all the extra money, but at the same time, when you're working, when you're doing labor work, when you're on your feet all day, literally the majority of your day, and if you are doing a lot of heavy lifting and you are working in heat, not just in heat but in like humidity, where there is no air vent, the closest thing that you have to getting some air is a fan, and then the only place where you're able to get AC is in the break room. It's not fun, and it's very overwhelming. It's very tiring. I come home from work and I'm at the point where literally I just do something extremely easy to make for dinner, and then I pass out. I'm literally in bed by 6:30, if not earlier, and I just pass out. Sometimes I don't even eat dinner. I just come home, take a shower, and then I'm in bed by 5:30, and I just sleep all night. It really sucks. I feel like crying most of my days. Like, as soon as I get home, I just feel like crying. Normally, like my shift, we work 10 hours a day, but it's from like Wednesday through Saturday, and then we get 3 days off, which is really nice because it kind of helps me, kind of like plan out my day. Like on Sundays, I'll go to church and have like my full, my rest day. Then on Monday, I will run some errands, do some of the not cleaning, just like things for how to like go out in the city and, you know, do my errands. And then on Tuesdays, I would mostly, you know, do all my laundry and my cleaning and the cooking and all of that stuff. And now, lately, with the overtime, I don't even have time for myself. And that really sucks because that's how I get my energy. I get my energy from spending time for myself and actually doing something that I enjoy, or just relax, or just, you know, watch movies. And lately, I really haven't been able to do that. And for me, that really sucks. The only time I get for myself is at night when I sleep. But that's not really fun either. I actually want to go out and do something. I'm always tired. Before, I used to be able to stay up until like the latest 11, right when it's my weekend. But now, when it's right when my weekend starts, I get so tired by, I would say maybe 8:30-ish, the latest. It just really sucks. And because of that, I had to drop out of some activities at church. I am enrolled in the children's ministry, which I love. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes those kids can be a little crazy and sometimes I just want to rip my hair out, but I still love them. They really make me happy. And I had to back out for a few days for July, just so I can actually have some extra time, not just for myself, but also to have like extra time to do all the things that I was not able to do all in one day. So that really sucks. Today, which is Sunday, is actually the second day, or the second Sunday in a row that I have not been able to go to church, just because I have so many things and so many errands that I had to do because I wasn't able to do the last couple of weeks. And that really sucks. I hate missing church. I really don't like to miss church. Granted, you don't need church, to be a Christian, but it is necessary when you want to build a relationship and when you want to know God and want to know, like, have a better understanding of God. And I didn't realize how big of a difference it would be for me to miss church other than going to work. Last week was just horrible. It was just a really bad week. Last Sunday was actually the first Sunday that I had missed church. And I mean, I know that a lot of you, well, not a lot of you guys, but some of you guys who are watching are probably not religious, and you probably don't understand why me missing church is like a big deal to me. So to have a better understanding of where I'm coming from, let's just say that you love going to the gym or you love working out, and so you do it on a consistent basis. You go to the gym, you work out 5 days a week, and you have a certain time that you like to go to work out, and your things are great, you're seeing great results, your life is better when you do that. But then you get a phone call from your family who are out of town that are saying that they are, they're going to visit you for about a week or so. So because you want to be a great hostess, you stay around the house or take them out, and you end up missing the first day of working out, and then you miss the second day, and so on and so forth, until it got to the point where you just feel empty when you don't work out. I mean, there's really nothing that you can do about it because your family's in town. You want to take care of your family, before you are able to, before they leave, and you know that once they leave, you're able to go back to your old routine where you get to work out and so on and so forth. But that first day, you realize that you kind of feel empty and you feel odd. You just feel very different. And then all of a sudden you start realizing that you feel more empty inside. You just feel different. You just feel so out of sync. You don't feel yourself, basically. You don't feel yourself. You just don't feel anything. And if I've made myself clear, then I guess you can see where I'm coming from with church. Like, I just felt weird. And this week, as I was entering work, last Sunday, I did some washing, and I, just kind of decided to have a day to myself, because I haven't been able to have a full day to myself and just relax since basically Memorial Weekend. Yeah, so that kind of sucks. I decided to take the opportunity and the advantage of me taking the whole Sunday to myself. So that's what I did. Then on Monday, which it was 4th of July, I spent the whole day with my boyfriend, because since we both work on different shifts, it's really, really rare that we have a whole day to spend together, unless if it's a holiday or if one of us calls in sick and it happens to be on the day that the other one isn't working. We rarely get to spend any time together. We took that day as an advantage to, not an advantage, an opportunity to spend some time together and see each other outside of work, because that rarely happens. Then I had realized that week I will not have an extra day off. At my work, for some odd, stupid reason, they decided to change our policy, where if you are working on a holiday, then you get that holiday off with pay. And if you don't work on that day, or like on a holiday, then you don't get an extra day off. Okay, so for example, since my shift is normally Wednesday through Saturday, and my boyfriend's shift is Sunday through Wednesday, since 4th of July landed on Monday, he gets to have that day off. And normally he has Thursday, Friday, and Saturday off. With the overtime, he only gets Friday and Saturday off. But with 4th of July, he technically gets, well, not technically, he does get 3 days off. But with me, on the other hand, before I was able to have an extra day off, which it would normally be on a Wednesday. So I would have a 4-day weekend. But now with the new policy and with the overtime, for that week I only had Sunday, Monday off, which is kind of the kind of weekend that I've had since June. A month and a half of overtime, and I barely didn't get a rest, like an extra day of rest. I didn't get a holiday off. The only reason why I technically had 4th of July off is because it landed on a day that was on my weekend. Since they changed the policy, I don't get like a holiday unless it lands on a day that I'm working, which I know the next one would be Thanksgiving, which is really, really, really stupid. Anyway, rant over. So I went in this week to work hoping that I wouldn't hear any of the A shift complaining about how tired they are or how sore they are because I had an extra day off. And B shift, which is my shift, we haven't had any day off an extra day off since Memorial Weekend. So we were all pretty exhausted. That Tuesday, it was just horrible. I had some personal things going on, and I went into work a little upset. Then around either lunchtime or first break, I had found out that the front side of my shorts had ripped. And it's not like they were my favorite, but at the same time, they're like pretty brand new shorts. I don't know, I think I bought them like a month ago. I mean, they're not that new, but they're pretty new. My shorts had ripped, and then things just went downhill from there, especially after lunch. I started to get, like, it was starting to get like really, really, really hot in the warehouse. And I have my little fan that you can wear like around the neck, and it blows up. So I've been using that, and it works pretty well, and I like to use it when I'm not working in front of like the big fan that's in front of the line. I've been using that, and it was just starting to get really, really hot and really, really humid, and I wasn't paying attention to the heat advisory that I saw earlier. I started to get a headache, and then my stomach started to hurt, and then I started to feel like really weak, and next thing I knew, I just had to run to the bathroom, and that was when I kind of started throwing up. I had no idea what the symptoms are for overheating, because I mean, I never had to experience any of that. If I get really hot, I just get a nosebleed, and that's about it. I'm from the West Coast. I'm from Nevada. We don't get any humidity. It's just all very dry heat. It can get, I think the hottest it's ever been when I was there, it gets like up to like 113 degrees. And yeah, it's hot, but it's not as hot as it is here, like in Missouri, with all the humidity. Like, we're still able to survive. Yeah, there's really nothing that shows, like, you don't see people overheating over dry heat. I had no idea what the symptoms were. Never had to worry about what the symptoms are, because I've never experienced them. I don't know, I just kind of started feeling bad, and Stu, my boyfriend, he realized that as I was going back to my line, that I was walking like very sluggish, very weak, not myself. He checked up on me. Then when I went in for a second break, one of the leads noticed my face, apparently. I guess it was, like, I don't know, I guess I wasn't like showing my happy face. I don't know. I guess I just had like this very tired look on my face. And when she started asking me if I was, okay, I kind of explained to her what had happened and how I felt, but I'll be okay. And she looks at me and she goes, no, those are the symptoms for overheating. Like, you really need to be careful. Like, you need to go into the AC, or like into the break room. Like, don't ever hesitate to go in there, especially right now. Like, you really need to go in there as soon as you can. I went into the bathroom like I normally do before break. Then I went into the break room for my actual break, and I started to get some ice cold water, and next thing I knew, like, Stu and my lead were kind of standing right behind me, asking me if I was okay, and I started asking me all these questions, like, how am I feeling? Kind of started letting me know that, like, I should not be able to hesitate to go into the break room and have like a 5-minute break to refresh, especially now, or especially then, if I was feeling so hot. But if I feel like I can't continue my work, then, I am more than welcome to clock out and just kind of like, go home until I start feeling better. But, I mean, if I do decide to stay and work, since I only have like an hour and a half left, then they would keep an extra eye out for me. Kind of sat down for break, just to think about if I should clock out, if it's worth clocking out when I have like an hour and a half left, or if I should just stay and continue doing my work. I kind of like, waited out, went back after my break was over, went back into the warehouse, and it was just an overwhelming humidity mostly. Then I realized that I just couldn't. I consolidated like one box, then I started to reset my line, or at least part of my line. And as I was resetting, I realized that I wasn't even sure if I was able to finish what I had started with the reset. I was starting to feel extremely nauseous again. I did my best to finish, grabbed my box and my scanner, my water bottle, and I just left. Stu and I, we like to carpool. I waited for him in the break room until it was time to leave. I remember thinking that it was the worst experience ever. I just had no idea what to expect. I had no idea that it was going to happen. I mostly felt embarrassed because I just felt like I couldn't believe that I let something like that get a hold of me. Like, I should have known better, but at the same time, like, I don't like going into the break room just because of a little heat. Like, I don't know, I'm just really weird. Like, a lot of people sees me as the strong one, the one that they look up to. And since I'm so used to that, I always make myself suffer a little bit just so I can be continued to be the role model that most people look up to. So since that's what I'm used to, me having to clock out because I got a little overheated, I felt weak. Like, I felt like I wasn't the person who they thought they were, or I don't know. I just felt really embarrassed. The rest of the week, it wasn't bad. I just felt mostly embarrassed, even though everybody kept telling me to don't hesitate to go to the break room. I still hesitated. I mean, I don't know, all week I just felt very empty and very depressed. Yesterday, during work, like after lunch, I guess it was heat exhaustion, as one of my coworkers calls it. After lunch, I started to feel extremely tired. Like, I've never felt this tired before. Like, as I was walking and consolidating, I fell asleep like probably 2 times. Like, almost fell asleep. I was actually sleepwalking as I was working, which never happened. I've never done that before. Our last break came around and I just walked into the break room, sat down, and I was knocked out. I just put my head on the table, even though like second break is the noisiest part of the day. Like, everybody in there is always yelling, they're always laughing. Like, it's quite impossible to sleep in there, but I somehow managed to fall deeply asleep within those 15 minutes. All of this started since last Saturday that I've noticed that I would feel depressed on Saturdays. I mean, it's the last day of my work for that week, and I know that a lot of people would usually be like really excited because it's, their weekend and they finally, get to their work, do whatever they're supposed to be doing that day, but they will keep themselves motivated that at least it's the last day and at least they get to go home and have a nice weekend. With me, on the other hand, I don't. I usually get stressed out and depressed because I know that for a fact I won't be able to have a nice weekend. Usually I start making plans as to like what am I going to do. The more I think about like what I had to do for that weekend and what are the errands or what are some of the things that need to be done, I just get depressed. And I know, I mean, a lot of you, I'm pretty sure some of you guys are probably thinking or telling me that probably shouldn't be thinking about those things. Like, I have to plan things ahead of time in order to know how my day is gonna go. And for me, that is kind of like my only way to have peace without, I don't know, I guess it's just how my brain works. Yeah, just knowing the fact that I have been working overtime and that, you know, a shift got an extra day off and my shift didn't. And then seeing and hearing how some of these people are going on their vacations, so they have like a week off from overtime, and yet I don't even have I don't even have vacation days to just escape from work for a little bit and have a little break for myself, and just really missing the fact that, you know, it's going to be a while until I, you know, have my weekend back, like my 3-day weekend. I just get depressed, and I try really hard to, you know, keep myself motivated and keep myself, you know, busy or not think about any of that, but I just can't help but to feel depressed. It's just on Saturdays. It just really sucks. I don't know, I just think it's so interesting how, you know, you missed one day of church or from the sermon, and all of a sudden, you know, your week can just completely flip upside down. It really was unfortunate how, because of the stupid overtime, I'm missing out on some of the work, like, you know, God's word, just to have a little extra time on my own. It's really sad how work has gotten in the way of that, and it shouldn't be like that. Thanks for listening to me. So that's just a little update on what's going on in my life. Really, there's nothing interesting other than work and suffering and crying. I decided I'm not going to promise on, you know, to keep uploading videos, just because right now with work it's a little bit iffy. I don't even know when will be the next available time for me to start uploading videos or to vlog, because nothing interesting has been happening. So I'm just gonna take a little time for myself. The sun is out. I kind of would like to enjoy that. I haven't seen the sun in a really long time. So I am gonna go back to my workplace. I know a lot of people normally wouldn't do that, go back to where they work, but there's like this new little like hiking trail that I kind of want to try out. It looks really pretty. Like the trail goes like around and through the ponds, and I don't know, I just kind of want to check it out, you know, get some vitamin D and have some time to myself. And oh, and I downloaded last week's sermon from my church that my pastor had preached about. So I'm honestly going to take that whole entire hour and just listen to the sermon as I'm hiking. Yeah, I hope your week is better than mine. Peace, love, and hair grease.